Hello and welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Kiki Sparkles. I am here by myself. Neon is not here today. He is elsewhere. So you're going to get some videos with me today, and they're all going to be Disney related. There are some good news and some bad news. We're going to start out with the good news. Before we get into it any further, please like and subscribe. If you do, I'll give you a woohoo. And we're going to take a look at this topic. So today we're going to talk about the fact that they're doing well with Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2, after 3 weekends, has finally crossed the $1 billion mark for Disney. This is the first film since Avatar 2, Avatar: The Way of Water, that Disney has actually had a big hit that would hit $1 billion at the box office. Last year was not great. Their highest high was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at $845 million. The Little Mermaid was only $569 million. Elemental was only not even $500 million. And that took global audience to do it. They're talking about how Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny was $383 million. Wish was only $126 million. The Marvels was $204 million. It's been a cluster. According to Variety, they got a C+. I wouldn't even have given them that for 2023. But heading into 2024, they're starting out strong with Inside Out 2. Now, Inside Out 2 is exactly what they needed to do. Now, remember, Pixar, they were like, hey, we're losing hope in Pixar. We're tossing people overboard. They had the layoffs, the consolidations, just like a couple months ago. They announced it in January. Pixar, their artists and their people were like, what they say, disheartened by the fact that for a long time, Disney kept using them as basically fodder to get subscribers on Disney Plus, and their stuff kept getting put over there. Now they finally have gotten a win. They had Lightyear, which Lightyear was a mess because, it was a Buzz Lightyear movie without actual Buzz Lightyear. I mean, there was a Buzz Lightyear, but it wasn't the Buzz Lightyear. So they finally do a film that is something people like. It's exactly what people expected. You give them what they want. Unfortunately, it's a sequel, and they're doubling, tripling down on the sequels, but you give people what they want, and they're going to come to the theater. What a concept. I don't understand. I haven't ready to bang my head off a wall or a table because it's not that hard. It really, really isn't hard. If people want the wheel, you give them the wheel. You don't try to reinvent the wheel. You don't try to put a square out there and say it's a wheel. No, you give them the wheel and they will give you their money. People are desperate for good entertainment that is like what they remembered, that isn't entertainment with a bunch of agenda. It isn't entertainment that looks like what they wanted, but you cut it open and it's something completely different. Like you're buying a chocolate cake at the grocery store, and when you cut it open, it's vanilla inside instead of chocolate. You said chocolate, it looked like chocolate, but it wasn't. People are tired of that crap. So when you give them a damn chocolate cake, they'll give you money. And it's picking up momentum as it goes because a lot of people probably are waiting to hear from others to see if it was good before they go. Because anymore, I think that's what's going on. Especially current year with the movies, especially Disney films, people will wait to hear the word of mouth before they even bother going to the theater because they're so worried it's going to be bait and switch. So when you actually deliver what you promise, people are happy and they'll give you their money. It's really not that hard. If only they could do this with Star Wars, maybe we'd be in a better place, Just saying. So Inside Out 2 crossed the $1 billion mark. It did come in number 1. For this weekend, it hit $57.4 million domestically. Right now, it's at $1.05 billion. It was $469 million domestic and $545 million internationally. As I mentioned, it's the first time it's crossed the $1 billion mark since The Way of Water. Now, projections say it could go past the Super Mario Brothers movie last year, which was like 1.3 or 1.4 billion. They said it likely will succeed that and go past it. However, Despicable Me 4 is coming out next weekend. So they're going to take some hits with that. I don't think they're going to hold number 1 spot again. That one's probably going to beat it. But it's going to be good news for animation fans because we're probably going to have 2 really strong contenders at the box office. And it being summer and you have your kids at home, people probably took their kids to see Inside Out 2 to get them something to do. Now they'll probably take them out to see Despicable Me 4. So it's a win for the box office. It's a win for families. It's a win for animation fans. It is a good news from Disney. And I'm not going to give Disney crap when they do something right. You kind of want to encourage them when they do something right so they keep doing the right things. It's like, positive reinforcement idea. Like they're dogs and you're ringing the bell but you're giving them money. So you don't want to give intermittent reinforcement. You want to encourage them when they do things right and tell them to completely fuck off when they do things wrong. And that's what people have been doing. So their takeaway is going to be, oh my gosh, guys, if we give people what they want, they give us money. Because, that's somehow a foreign concept to these people at this point in time. So this is good. We're seeing that. I think this year Disney might do well overall because we have Deadpool Wolverine coming out on July 26th. Okay. Alien Romulus, I don't think it's going to do as well as Deadpool Wolverine, but I think it might do okay. August 16th, 2024. And then Moana 2 is coming out November 27th. Moana was their top streaming film, which is why they were going to do a sequel series, and now they're turning it into a movie. I have no doubt Moana 2 will do really well. So I think they have a really good shot at least hitting $1 billion again with one of those. My money's on Moana too, but I think Deadpool Wolverine might be able to get up there pretty high as well. It's going to depend on the rating though, because it's rated R, and so I think that's going to limit. Where Moana, you can get like it's for everyone, and there's a lot of adults who like it, a lot of kids who like it. So it's another family type movie, like Inside Out 2 was. So I think they have a lot of potential to do really, really well with that. But it's interesting. It's just like I just can't. It took this long for them to figure this out. Lightyear was a disaster. Lightyear, I still can't wrap my head around it. When you have a Toy Story sequel, Toy Story 4 was like the last time they broke $1 billion at the box office with Avatar, but before that it was Toy Story 4, I think. So I'm like, if you give people what they want, like Buzz Lightyear, let's do a Buzz Lightyear movie and put Buzz Lightyear in it. If they had done a proper Buzz Lightyear Star Command, they would have probably hit the $1 billion, or as much as they could have gotten, given that it was right after the pandemic, not long after the pandemic. They would have probably done pretty well with it. But some brain trust over at Pixar and probably Disney thought, let's make a movie. We probably because they didn't want Tim Allen in it. Let's make a new movie. We'll put Chris Evans in it because, he's coming right off of being Captain America. He's still very popular. So we'll make a Buzz Lightyear movie that's not even about the actual Buzz Lightyear people know. This is about the source material that doesn't even make sense. Because if Buzz Lightyear's toy was based on the source material, Buzz Lightyear the toy would be like Buzz Lightyear the movie. When you buy toys from a movie, it reflects the movie and the characters. It wouldn't be completely different characters. That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So it failed. So when you give something that makes sense and you give people what they expect, they'll give you the money. And the thing is that they continue to make choices that show people like, you're expecting this, we're going to give you this. Then people will once again build that confidence up. Because for years, you just had to put the movie out and people would go. I mean, sometimes the movie wasn't the best, but they'd at least go to give it a chance. And now they won't even go to give it a chance until they hear that, oh yeah, it's okay, it's safe, it's good, you can take your kids. Go ahead and go. It's what you expect. And you need to learn from this. And Star Wars is the next big one you need to learn about this with, because Star Wars is not Star Wars. I'm sorry. I don't care who gets pissed about it. It's not. I don't know what this is, but this is not Star Wars. And it has nothing to do with, like, oh, it's because you're against people that are, no, it's not about that. I mean, you're pushing that in there, but you're pushing diversity over story and characterization. You don't have time to attach yourself to these characters, as we point out in the article yesterday, to feel bad when something happens to them. You're just doing it completely wrong. So maybe if you go back to giving people what they actually want, you'll do better. It's really, really not hard, but Hollywood does not seem to understand this, and Disney especially does not seem to understand this. It's just common sense. So good news, Inside Out 2 is doing great. Good news on Disney, it's good for them. I'll give them credit where credit's due. Pixar, I hope this helps Pixar people, because I know they were getting a lot of layoffs and there was a lot of demoralization over there. I'm hoping this gives them a boost. I'm hoping they start seeing that if you do good things, people will come. I know they're going to do Toy Story 5 and they're doing Frozen 3. And they're also trying to do some new things, and I want to encourage them to do new things, but please, when you're doing new things, make sure they have mass appeal. If you're not going with good story, good characterization, mass appeal, you might as well just not even bother. So anyway, please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.